right, let's practice how to divide whole numbers. So let's start with 672 divided by 8. Remember that this question is saying how many groups of 8 go into 672 in this case. So that's what we are looking at in this question. A few reminders of vocabulary for you. The number we start with is called our dividend. That's the number we're going to divide. So in this case, that's 672. The number we're dividing by is our divisor. And the answer that we get is called the quotient. So, in order to solve this problem, we can start by finding how many times 8 goes into, we'll start with the 6 here, how many times 8 goes into 6, which we can see 8 does not go into 6, right? We cannot multiply 8 by a number and get a number that's less than 6. So we can move on and look at 67. So we have to ask ourselves, how many times does 8 go into 67? Or how many groups of 8 go into 67? And so we would find that we can have 8 go into 67 8 times, because 8 times 8 is 64. So we can make 8 groups of 8 with 67. Then we're going to subtract. So 8 times 8 equals 64. And 67 minus 64 is 3. And we will bring down our 2. And 8 goes into 32 4 times. So we'll write our 4 here. And 8 times 4 is 32. And again, we'll subtract. And we get 0. So we have no remainder. That means 84 would be our quotient. So 8, or rather 672 divided by 8 equals exactly 84. Let's practice another one here. So now we're going to find the quotient of 9,216 and 150. So here we need to determine how many times 150 goes into 921. And so with these, when we're working with larger divisors like 150, I like to work with estimates. So if I were just to kind of round 150 up to 200, I know that 200 goes into 921 is close to 1,000. I know that 200 times 5 equals 1,000. So that's kind of my starting point to check how many times 150 goes into 921. So I might say, okay, well, let's see. 150 times 5. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 is 7. So that's 750. It looks like I can fit another 150 in there. So now I'll check 150 times 6. 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 5 is 30. And 6 times 1 is 6, plus 3 is 9. That's 900, which is still less than 921. So 150 goes into 921 6 times. And 150 times 6 is 900. And now we subtract 921 minus 900 equals 21. And we bring down the 6. Now 150 goes into 216 only one time. And that's equal to 150. And now we can subtract. 6 minus 0 is 6. 11 minus 5 is 6. So we have this remainder of 66. Now, many people often then, right, you're used to writing 61, remainder, 66. We're going to move away from writing our remainders that way. And instead, we're going to express them as a fraction. This is a much better way to show our remainders. And it's quite simple. All we need to do is take our remainder, which we say is 66, and we will write that with a denominator of our divisor, 150. So our answer here would be 61 and 66 150ths. And we could actually simplify this. I can tell that both of these can be divided by 6. I know that 66 divided by 6 is 11. And 150 divided by 6 equals 25. So our final answer here would be 61 and 11/25. 25ths. So let's go ahead and practice a problem here. You make 12 equal payments for a go-kart. You pay a total of $1,380. How much is each payment? So we know we're paying a total of $1,380, and we've made 12 equal payments. So we want to know 1,380 divided by 12. So we can go ahead and solve this problem here. 12 goes into 13 one time. 12 times 1 is 12. 13 minus 12 is 1. 12 goes into 18 one time. 18 minus 12 is 6. We bring down the 0. And finally, 12 goes into 60 5 times. And 12 times 5 is 60. So in this case, you would make $115 payments each time. So 12 equal payments of $115